Oh, so sorry those who are on YouTube. I Oh my goodness, we didn't go live when we should. So that was why someone was saying, yeah, Kofi, I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel so bad right now. I need to go back a little bit because of them. Um, Everyone on YouTube, I'm so sorry that I didn't go live. I thought I did. So I'm going to just do a very quick recap of what we have done. So, and that will be a very good way for you guys to understand it over again. Oh my goodness. So I will go back just very fast. Zoom guys, so sorry, but this will help you to like reinforcement learning, right? So Blessing, what's the question? Do you have a question you can ask? Hello, Blessing, you can go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Blessing.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You are asking something.
Okay, please, you were showing us something on the Git platform.
Okay.
Mine is not showing exactly as yours, so it's really not easy for me to follow.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I need to know the operating system you're using, so I'll know. Probably take note of it and probably follow up later.
Okay. So I'm using my Mac OS, but
Okay,
then
Mac.
yeah, but GitHub is a web application. So are you talking about the GitHub or the Git?
Yes, the GitHub. I'm talking about the GitHub. Like I was trying to follow you step by step, but it was not showing like that. I'm not using. I didn't download the app on my system because I'm using
So
operating system.
are you on GitHub.com?
Yes, I am.
That's strange. It should be the same thing actually.
That's why I had to call your attention because it's not showing exactly the same as yours because I don't have the app on my system. I'm on the website. Like I'm using the GitHub directly. It's not showing
Okay.
like that.
So the only thing that could be different for you actually is my own github.com page can be a little bit different from you because I'm following like I have a lot of conversation going on. So I have a lot of things. I've been on GitHub for like a lot of years. So there are some new features that I get access to earlier than some people. So there is this like GitHub code pilot that is being tested. I'll be like part of people that have tested and things like that. So, but if your GitHub doesn't look exactly like my own, you don't need to worry too much because it won't look exactly like my own because I customize my GitHub like this pane, all of these things. They're all customized. So it's not like something that it just comes out of GitHub like that. So I customize them like this. So and all of these things. So and also my commits and stuff will be different from yours definitely. But one thing that should be the same is these repositories at the
I thought
top.
my repository was exactly like yours.
Yeah, so if you see your repository, that's fine, and that is what exactly what we need. So if everyone can see your repository and then you can go to new, creating new repository, that's what we needed. So that's what we want to do. You understand? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so that should be it. So don't worry, I'll just go over everything now for the sake of the people on YouTube that missed out on some things. So you'll catch up with it, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so sorry everyone. I thought I went live on YouTube, but sadly I did not. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so let us quickly recap. So the first where we started is I was saying that. So here I'm going to go back to. So I was giving like the difference between GitHub and this main software Git. So I didn't instruct people to install Git yesterday, last week. So that was why I said let's move it to today so that I can show everyone how this process works. Because GitHub is a very important and crucial skill for you to have as a software engineer. Very, very important. Very, very important. So even for me, I'm still learning this thing and to be able to be compliant. But it's a very good skill to have, to be able to use it and to be able to so I said Git is an open source software. So it's used for tracking changes in files. So and that is what it does. It tracks changes in files. And you can use it to version your different version of your files based on your edit, delete, and all of things. So if you are working on this file, you edit, you delete, you update, you do all of these things, Git is going to keep track of all of those changes for you so that you can revert, you can reverse, you can go back, you can go forward. That is what Git is all about. So, and then if you go to the website itself, you see here, you can download it like this for Mac. So immediately you come here, you're going to see for your operating system. For Windows, you're going to see it here. And if you are using Linux, you can see other source code here that you can download. So I've already done this. So what I'm saying now is that GitHub gives us the web interface to be able to work with Git. So, and that is what it does. So Git is basically like software as a service for Git. So I now said that aside from GitHub, there is another contender that I've used before called Bitbucket. So you can either I've used Bitbucket before in my former place of work, and I think I still have some nice project on it too, which is really good. So either GitHub or Bit. But the only thing is that GitHub is very popular and is very open source friendly. And aside from that, it's like what I call it. It gives you an access to be able to showcase your work as a software engineer. So it's like a report card for you, you know. So now if you are applying, want to contribute to a lot of open source projects, or you want to even code also to let other people contribute to your own code, or you want your potential employers to be able to see what you have developed, GitHub is very good. And now said that if you want to build your own internal code, like for your company or for a startup that you are building, that you don't want anyone to see that code, then maybe you can use Bitbucket, because Bitbucket is very good for private repository. But now also Git have also added private repository to GitHub. And also I shared an article on W3 School on how to quickly set up GitHub on your local machine after installation, just the configuration. But I also said that configuration is not really compulsory that you have to do it. You can always do it later. You understand? But in as much as you have Git install on your machine, what you just need to do is this simple command: do git version. So to confirm okay, yeah, I have this Git version 2.330, and then you can start to use Git. So you can even type Git and say. So it's going to show you all of this command. So with this, you can start using GitHub directly to do everything you want to do. So you can just say Git, and then it will give you all of this command. You can read about them. So that's that. So after that, I now went to our last project we are doing. So if you don't know where you are, you can just do ls. So I think on Windows you do dir like this on Windows. So and then we are going to our desktop, cd to desktop. I want to be sure if okay. So cd to desktop, right? And then where we are on desktop, we are going to the web, cd to web, and then we can see our project. So that's where we are. So from there now, because what we want to do, this project is not currently being tracked, so there is no GitHub into this project. So we want to initialize this web folder to become a Git repository that we can add to, that we can commit to, and that we can change. So are we all clear now? So to do that, what we need to do, again, like I said, is go to our GitHub account that you have created. So you can either go to your profile and you see overview, then you see repository. So if you click on repositories, you can see new here. So you can click on new to create a new repository, or you can just do your repositories from your profile page here. It's still the same thing. It's still going to take you here, and then you can do new repository. So creating new repository is simple. So just compulsory, you have to give it a name. So we name it web masterclass, right? So that's it. So that just name it the name of the repository, or you can give it the name of the project you are building, because we are building a blog, right? So we could always, like, we are building a techie blog. We could just name it techie blog. Let's say techie blog. So it doesn't matter anyway. So, and then you can give it a description, which is optional. So a project built during 4 weeks web development masterclass using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that's all. So then you can choose your option, either public or private. And I said here that you should choose public. Anyone on the internet can see this repository. So you choose who can commit. So anyone can see it. They can go through your code and everything. But then you can choose who can contribute to your code. But private, so you choose who can see and commit to this episode. So you can see who can see it. You have to, like, choose. So, but then sometimes, you know, people can see maybe your post on LinkedIn or come across your LinkedIn profile, and maybe they see a link like, okay, let's check this guy out, and then they went to your GitHub account, or your private link, they won't see it. So that's why we are actively looking for a job and you are building portfolios, always set it to public. So the next thing I said is we can also choose a license type. There are different kind of license type. So like I said, we have Apache, all of these, MIT. Most open source softwares use MIT license. So, but then for me, I'm going to choose this Creative Commons license. So this Creative Commons just means that anyone can use this code for anything, change it, adapt it in whatever way they want. So it doesn't cost them anything. So, and then I talked about adding Git Ignore. So Git Ignore, choose which files not to track from a list of templates. So in this folder, in this project we are building, we want GitHub to track all of those folder, all of those files. But then Git Ignore, what it does is, so what we need is to be able to, like, say, okay, I need to be able to see this person, and then I need some of these files that I don't want Git to track, so ignore them. So that is what Git Ignore is. So for this, we're going to choose Node template, and I said Node. Anytime you're using Node, that means you're using JavaScript. So JavaScript, Node is the development environment for JavaScript. So because in this project we're going to be using JavaScript, so that is why I chose Node. And there are some specific types of files in Node that we don't want to commit to our GitHub account. So I've shared that before, and so that's why I do this. So add a README file. We don't need to do that, but we could add that later. I'll show you how we can add this up later. So then what we need to do is just create a repository. So, and that's it. And this is the reason why I always do this first, because GitHub will just give you all of the steps to be able to initialize this particular repository on your project. So, which is good. Okay, so I wanted to share this. Let me quickly copy a link in. There are some people on YouTube that said they want to come to Zoom. So I'll just share the Zoom link with them if they wish to, which is good. So I just discovered that yesterday my Zoom automatically renew itself. So I was just like, okay, so if that happens, it's just like a waste of money not to use it anyway. So because it has already paid for it, I forgot to cancel it. So since it's paid for, let's just use it. You understand? So that was why we are still on Zoom and on YouTube also. So if you want to join us on Zoom, feel free to come on board on Zoom, which is good. Okay, great. So now we've set all of those things up. So there are 2 ways or even 3 ways to initialize this project on our code base that we just created. So one is create a new repository on the command line. So we can create a new repository entirely. You understand? So we can create a new repository entirely. Or another thing we can do is we can push an existing repository from the command line. So now, because we don't have an existing repository, there is no repository here. If I do like git here, for instance, in this file, it just gives me all of this help. So if I do like git, like add something here, can you see it says fatal, not a git repository? You understand? So this is not a git repository yet. So we're going to go with the first one to set up a git repository. So the first thing we need to do is this code here, Git Init. So you can also do this too, echo techie block. So what this is going to do for you is actually create a readme file and put this inside. So let's do that because we don't create it initially. So I'll copy this, just copy, you don't need to, and then it's bringing me this Zoom meeting I did. I copied earlier. That's strange. That's fine. So you could just maybe I'll just copy it again. I think I didn't use the reason why that happened is because I have a window keyboard, so sometimes the command just like change for me. Okay, so if you look at this now, this echo techie blog whatever readme is going to like put techie blog inside and create a file called read.markdown and put this content inside. So if you say ls now, can you see that we have a file called readme inside? So we're going to open it up and you see what is there now. So and then after that, the next thing is to do git init. So you can see now, so it initialize a new repository for us, and that is all we need to do. So and then we need to make our first commit. So you can see right now it shows us that there is a commit to be made. So it has initialized an empty Git repository, but there is no commit inside. So if you look at this, we can say git add readme.md, because readme.md is the first thing what we just added right now. So we can just do that. Just copy this. And then we said, okay, we want to add this to our Git repository. So it has added that, and then we said, okay, Git, I want us to commit that file. So this will be our first commit. And you can see that first commit, one file change, one insertion and it creates this particular stuff. You understand? And then the next thing is we want to branch out. So right now you can see that the branch we had now, it's called master. This here is called master. But now, like, GitHub have created a new policy to not, they don't want to have like the idea of master and slave. I think it's because of the movements Black Lives Matter, so which makes sense. So like master is have this kind of slavery connotation, and they don't want to have that. So that's why now we are using main for the main repository, which actually makes sense in the real sense of it. So which is main? It should be main anyway. So we are going to git branch here. I'm going to tell us much about branch, but what we just do is that we just create a new branch called main and it set it as a master branch. So the master now is not going to be master anymore. It's going to be renamed to main. So which makes sense. It should be a main. That's the main repository. So now this is where the logic comes from now. So how do we add what we have in our repository here on the server to our local repository so that they can connect with each other? And this is the link here. It's a git remote hard origin, and this our origin that we created. So we add this and we can see that git remote hard origin, and this is the repository that we created on Git, and we are adding this origin to our local file. Easy. And then that's done. And then what we are going to do next is push this origin. So we do git push -u origin.
So you're going too fast.
Okay, I'm going too fast. Don't worry. I'm going to recap. Just hold on. I'm going to do it over and over again. You're going to get it. Okay? Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. You're going to get it. Okay, so okay, so what we need to do now is what we call Git Pull. So there are some things that we have in main, in the origin here, that we don't have in our file down here. So, and why is that? Because if you remember when we were initializing this repository, we added license, we added git ignore. All are those files that was created on the origin, but is not in the local file. So how do you get the origin to reconcile with what is on the local file? You do git pull. Pull means that you pull everything that is hop. You pull them down. So when I do this, so it's going to pull down those files that we created. So and also it can help us, like sometimes like it always give you these insights onto what you can do and stuff like that. So we can, if I do this, for instance, I'm coming, let me see. So if you said git pull origin main. Okay, so we can just do rebase definitely to merge unrelated histories, because we need to pass. So we could just like do this. Is okay. We can do this, and then that is done. So we just tell him that git pull origin main rebase. So rebase, what it's just doing is that it combines all of those commits that we make in the origin and then add everything to our main. So now we can now do our git pull. So if you don't get this, you can just come back to this video and watch it again, but it's actually easier. You just practice, create multiple repository and then you'll be able to use them. So Okay. So what we'll do is let's do git status to see what we have right now. Okay. So we're going to add all of these things to be committed. Those are everything we have initially in our files. So I'm just going to write a commit message. So this is how you write your commit message. You use git commit and you put the flag -m, which means I'm adding a message. So I'll just say initial files that we have, which is good. So now everything has been committed right now. So let's try and see and do push origin again this time. So you can see that we are able to push our origin now. So if I refresh this page now, you can see that we have everything we have built in our GitHub. You can see we have the images, we have the git ignore we created, we have the license we added, we have the readme file, we have the index.html file. I know this is like a lot of things for everyone, so but if you have like specific questions on this, let's like quickly answer it. But if you don't like understand some certain things, so just go back to this recorded video and watch it over again. You understand? So I know this is just like basic introduction into how these things work. And the beautiful thing about Git is that it's always give you all of this help. So if you type something that it doesn't understand, it will ask you to, it will give you some hints. And there is, if you just type like Git alone, it will give you some, all of these basic commands that you can use with Git. So even if you are creating your first repository, also GitHub is going to give you all of those options on how to connect either your local repository to a remote repository, or creating fresh repository from your remote repository and adding them to your initial local repository in your folder that you have on your local machine. So right now our project is officially being Git tracked. So you can see now we have web, it has Git, and this is our main branch. I know it's a lot of information, but that's exactly how GitHub work. But then let's make some changes back and forth and just see some of the few commands that you're going to be using with Git itself. You understand? So that we understand how Git really work and everything. So I'm going to open our code base now so that we can see some of this Git stuff in action itself. Okay, so this is our code. Let me bring it to a place where we can see what we are doing. Okay, good. Like I told you before, like VS Code also has its own terminal. So I will open VS Code terminal so it's more easier for me to work with. So it's the same thing with the terminal we are using here. You can see it's the same. So it will open this same place where we are for us, which is good. So you can see all of those files that we have here. We have the techies, images, we have the index.html that we worked on last week. So you can see these are the files that we built last week, which is good. Okay, so yeah, let me increase this zoom size so that we can see things more properly. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'll just hit the command. Yeah, so I just zoomed in so that we can see properly. So go back to the terminal and stuff. So this is good. So let's say for instance we want to make some changes to our code, and then how do we track them to make sure that those changes are effective? So let's say for instance we have this h1 that we have here. So if I preview this, what we did last time, if I click on this preview button here, we should be able to view that website itself. No, don't install anything. Okay, yeah, good. So maybe I should just remove this so that it doesn't take most of our space. We'll use this local terminal. It's more easier so that we can move back and forth, because I see that that is actually taking a lot of space in our code. So this is what we did last time. This is what we did. So let's say for instance we have this home, about, and contact. So let's add a new link. Let's say index, about, contact. What kind of link can we add again? Okay, let's say services. So I'll just go here, and just to make it easy, I'll just copy this contact twice, so that I'll change it to service. Service. Okay, so and then let's change the name also. Service. And then we save it. So you can see we have made changes to our code right now, but then we need to be able to tell Git that okay, there's a change that has been made. So another thing I want you to install is there is this Git lens extension that I use in VS Code. You can install it. It's called Git lens. It's really nice. So if you go to your extension here and type Git, so if you type Git, you'll see different kind of so I use this Git lens. It's really good. So it's going to be showing you everything you have tracked, everything you have done, changes you've committed, and stuff like that. They're just like easy way to work with Git in VS Code. So like for instance now, if I go to this Git lens stuff, it will show me exactly what I've changed. You can see that I've made a change in this file, and it's going to show you. Even if I want to discard it here, I can discard it. If I want to commit that change, I can commit from here. So, but it's just like a lot of clicking. But every time you make changes, you will see here that you've seen make a change. So now if I go to our terminal now, if we go to our terminal too, you will see that there is a change that is wait to commit. So, and sometimes we just do git status. So it will tell you that okay, modified. You can see in red, this file index.html has been changed. So we need to track it. So to commit it, is no changes added to commit. Use git add or git commit -a to be able to do it. For me, I just like to do the easy one, like git add. So the period means like add everything in this current directory. And then if I do git status again, you can see that these have been staged. So these have been staged already. You can see. So it's already tracked that okay, this commit is something we have done. Now, so this is a change to be committed. So in that place. So what we now need to do is do that actual commit itself, so that people that look at our code, they are able to know that okay, at this also time, at this also place, Peter make a change to this file, and this is what you do. So that is what your commit message is all about. So you now said git commit message flag, so -m, right? Yeah, message flag. I said added added services to navigation, and that's it. So you've created your commit messages. So Git help me record it, like I've made this change to this file and this is what I do, and then you push it there. So you can see one file change and then 2 insertions. So that's what you can do. So we're going to do one more thing, how to create branches and do pull requests, and then we are going to move forward from here. I know this is a lot of things, but just it's very, very useful for us to do this. So immediately I do this now, let's go to GitHub. So if I go to GitHub now and I refresh, so you can see that right now what we have, you can look at this commit. So you can see we have initial commit, the first commit, and all those things. So the one we just made right now is not here, but it's on our local file, but it's not in the repository. So you need to be able to like push it to the repository for everyone to be able to know, okay, yeah, this change has been made, and then they can see it. So what I just do is like just the git push. So if I do git push now, you can see it has pushed everything to our repository. So if I refresh now, so you can see now added services to navigation, and this is what I had. So this is the tracking code, and this is the maybe the code that have been changed. So if I click on this right now, so this is this code at this particular time, and if I go to index, so you see that we have service there. So, but for instance, let's say I went backward a little bit and I go to here, initial files. When I go to index.html, you see that there is no services here, and that is the power of GitHub. So you can be able to see your files at different stages and how. So if you have missed anything, don't worry, this recording will be made available on YouTube. So, and because I have a lot of recording on GitHub, on Zoom, so after this class, I will upload this time around the Zoom class from the beginning also, so that for people that missed that early part can be able to see everything over again. So one more thing I want to do with GitHub before we go, because it's very important to address this, so is about branches. So if you look at this techie blog repository right now, we only have one branch. You can see it's called main. So this is our main branch. So most of the time when you want to do your new, for instance, maybe we have a new specifications to add to this techie blog. So let's say the state of our website right now. Right now we have only one article. So let's say we want to add a second article to this blog. So let's try and do that. So now for me to do this, I won't just start working on this main, because if I work on this main and I change anything, it's going to just be messy a little bit. But the cleanest way to do it is that, okay, let's say I'll create a new branch from main. So everything that I've been done on main, I'll take them and then I'll add to it. So I'll do git checkout. So that is so git checkout, and then you do flag -b. -b means create a new branch, -b. So -b, and then I will name it add new article. So I'll do that. So can you see now I said switched to a new branch. So you can see that a new branch. So I create a new branch and then I switch to it immediately. So which is good. So right now I can have confidence and make changes into this branch without affecting my main branch. So let's do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. Let me off this preview so that, okay, maybe I shouldn't switch it off. I don't want it to be too slow for us, so that's why. But now what we are doing is creating a new version of this place, this and this. So we just need to copy this section. So this is the section that have, okay, we have this section that have this image, and then we have another section that have this article. So they're like two things. So I'm just going to copy the four of them and let's just replace it with this. So you can see that we have two of this now, so which is good. So that will just be the changes. So let us mess with it. We just know that we have two of this. So we've done that. So what we need to do again is git status. So you can see that, oh, because I've not saved this file, that's why Git is not tracking it yet. So I'll just save this. So I've saved this now. So when I save it, immediately you know that, okay, I've added some files. So if I check status again, so it tells me that, okay, I've modified index.html again. So what I'm going to do now is git, I'm going to stage this, and then I'm going to do commit again. Git commit, flag with message, and said added a, let me just say duplicate articles, duplicate article, because that's exactly what we did, right? So which is good. So that's what we did. So web add new this, and this is done already. So let me show you something. When I do git checkout to main, let me go to main, git checkout main. So we are in main right now. So see what happened. How many articles do we have here? One. You can see that. So that is how powerful. So nothing has been changed in the main. The main is still the way it is. That's the beauty. So now I can go back to again and say git checkout add new article. You can see that now. So when I go there now, you can see the duplicates. And that's the power of Git. So without, so for instance, if this thing is like, okay, we change our mind, we don't want to add new article, we could easily discard this without messing up our main. So this is what happened in every company. For instance, you have your production development, you have your main production code, you have your development code. So most companies, what you're going to be saying is they're going to have this like this. I can check out now. Let's go back to main, git checkout main again. So from main, I'm going to check out git, create a new branch. I will call it dev. So this is going to be our development branch. So we have two branches now. So you can see that this branch is the same thing as main, this development branch. So because I've made a new changes to on the article branch, and I want to add it to main, but I won't add it to main directly. I'll first add it to my dev so that I can be able to like test it thoroughly and see that it's working fine and it's stable before I can do what, merge it into our main for production. So every code that is in main means that things that users can use. Anything that is in dev, they are like experiments that we are making. And then for you to work on your own features, you can branch out from that and then you work on it separately. That is where we have this add new article for individual features. So now let's do something. Let's say that this is our add new article. I want to let's go back there, git checkout checkout add new article. You understand? So we've commit this, right? Let me say git status. Status, right? So okay, yeah, that's good. So we now said like git push. So that is because we have committed everything. So now I want to push this branch to our remote repository, right? So I'll do this. But then what the first thing you need to do is you need to do the set upstream origin at new article, because we don't have like a connection in the origin with this particular branch. So we need to create that connection. So we just do the same thing that it has us to do, and it's going to set it. You can see, and these have been set. So now let's go to our GitHub account and see what happened here. You can see, you see, add new article, add recent pushes, less than a minute ago. So this is what we call pull request now. So I can create and pull request. So maybe create this. So where do you want to create this pull request? I want to create it inside this main, because that is where we do the job. So if there is a reviewer, you can review your code here and everything. So, and then the beauty of it is that you can also see all of the changes that you make. You can see what is the change we make in this code. This is it. We basically just duplicate, add this new section. You can see it in green. If you delete anything, it's going to show it in red. You understand? Because we added new thing, it shows it this way. So, and that's simple. I just like, okay, yeah, this is what you did and everything. I review your code, it works fine. You can write a comment or whatever I want to, and it says I'm able to match to this. I just say, okay, create this pull request. So it's going to create it, and then it's going to tell you, okay, checking for the ability to match. So if there is like any kind of conflict in that code, it's going to check and tell you here. And then you can say, okay, match pull request. You can put any kind of comment again, confirm your match. So you can see that these pull requests have been matched. If you like, you can delete it or you can leave it there. So it depends. So then if I go to here now, we've done that. I'll just go to back to my main, git main. Okay, that is not a complete one. Git checkout main. So if you look at our main code now and I go here, you see that it's still, there is no changes, it's still the same thing. So but we have that code in our origin already. So what do we need to do? Pull it down. So just do git pull, and you can see index.html have this kind of changes and everything, and it's up to date. You can see that now we have the double stuff. You can see it double. So that is how you create Git accounts. That is how you set it up. That is how you create pull requests. That is how you create branches. That is how you commit your messages. And I hope that help all of us. Is there any question, or we could move forward to Firebase now? Hello, is there any question?
Now like we are using three different applications. We are using we are using GitHub. We are using the command window.
Yeah.
And the last one, the visual whatever, the VSC. So like switching from one window, from one application to another application to another one entirely. So what is the actual connection between all those three applications? It's kind of very kind of hard for me to understand why we are like switching from one to the other, trying to like connect them together. Why are we doing all this?
Okay, so this is just a simple answer to this. Richard, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
Just a quick one.
Okay.
For the command prompts.
Okay.
For the GitHub, is it the same thing with window?
Yeah. So Git command is the same across every operating system. So
Okay.
there is no Git command for Windows and Mac. No, either Linux, either Mac. So that's why Git is cross-platform. So the only thing that is different from Windows to this thing is only the command. Like for instance, I want to check my directory ls. In Windows, you can't do ls. You do dir. Some things like that. But for Git command, we are doing Git like this. All these commands is the same for both Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Eniola?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good evening, Adam.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what I'm about to ask is that, like now we are using HTML. If possible, we now add JavaScript to another file, to new file, and also CSS to new file. Are we going to make the same steps to add them to our goods?
Yeah, so it's the same thing, nothing different. Let's just do. We are going to do CSS today anyway, but because our time is fast spent, we may not go deep into CSS. So because I just felt like this, what we are doing now is very, very important, and I want us to get this thing on Firebase today so that we can see what we have done and tied up together. So because you don't want to be building things and you don't want to showcase it, so we want to do the holistic system. So let's say, for instance, I added a new file here called style.css. So it doesn't matter. Immediately, if I go to command line and press enter, you can see it says something has been added. So it's the same tracking. So I can just say git add the same thing. It has added it, that stage it immediately. Even if I do git status, you can see new file style.css. Very easy. And then I will commit this git add, and I'll put the message that was added style CSS file. Oh, sorry. I've had this already, git commit. So, and then it's created out. That's all. If you add JavaScript, new file, let's say like utils.js, the same thing. It doesn't matter. If you add Python, someone asks if you are using R. If you are using R, you are using Java, you are using any programming language, whatever. Like Git doesn't care about your language. It's tracking files. So it doesn't, even if I created, let's say, new file names.txt test file, it's going to track it. It doesn't care. So if I go to my terminal now, I said git status, you see all the new things, JS, the test file shows me they are now included, and I can stage them now. Git add, git commit minus him, initialize JS and TST files. That's all. And when you are done, you push everything to the origin. So the first question somebody asked was, how do we reconcile between origin and the local file? So that is why we are doing push to origin. So push, git pull. So now all this pull and push, because we have two files. Number one, here we have this techie blog, which is our repository where we were saving our files, our repository to. You can see all of this in now. utils is here, CSS is here, because I've pushed them. Because I do git push, that's why they are there. If I didn't do git push, they won't be there. So you have two files, your local files and then your GitHub files. Like for instance, I traveled a lot. I'm not with my computer and I'm working on this project and I want to continue, but my computer is not here. I'll just go to my GitHub and say go to code. You can see download zip. I can download everything. I'll continue working. I'll commit it again. I'll come back up, continue where I'm going, and continue working on my computer. Or you can even do HTTPS or SSH or use GitHub CLI, and you still do the same thing. You can even download the zip directly. There is even GitHub desktop you can download. I think I have it, but I don't normally use it. But you can just use that. There are a lot of options for you to be able to get your files and then keep working with it. You understand? So there is two files: the origin, the remote one, which is on your account, and then the local one, which is this. So because, for instance, if you are working in a remote company, for instance, you are in Nigeria or you are in Ghana or you are in South Africa, and you guys are working on the software together. So you are working on your local machine. When you finish your own feature, you make a Git pull request. So people from the other side can be able to check what you have done. They pull it on their own code, run it on their own local system, and they can work on it. And that is how it works. So you create, you pull, you push, you fetch, and all those things. So it's just about practice. You get used to them, and you can use it with any operating system. So Samuel, do you have a question? Hello, Samuel. Hello. Ini, do you want to ask a question? Ini, go ahead, ask your question.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Are you going to send the recorded version of the video?
Yeah, sure. So this recorded version is going to be available on YouTube from the beginning. So I'm recording on... The thing is that I forgot to actually start the live streaming on YouTube early enough. So that was the issue. So I'm going to upload the recorded version from Zoom on YouTube, and also the one that is currently live on YouTube will be there. So all of the past videos have been on YouTube. So if you want to watch them, I always share them in the emails. So Samuel, what's your questions?
Okay, thank you, sir.
It's okay. Go ahead, Samuel.
I'm actually worried about the time because I'm here in Ghana. He said 4 o'clock. I came on and here already started. Also, I'm absolutely because you guys are doing that. So I didn't get it.
Okay.
Already started.
Okay.
Even if I should leave the meeting and then watch the recorded videos or
Okay, that's okay. Samuel, don't worry, don't feel lost. So I think being here alone, listening is very important. So that's why I used to tell people that even though you don't understand what we are doing, but you have missed a class or something, keep listening, because it will be like a reinforcement learning to you. Everything you've had me say now, you are still going to come across them in the future. And then when they come, you'll be like, oh, true. Peter said this thing, this also time. Oh, now I get it. You understand? So there is no knowledge that is wasted at all. But I will share with you let me see. We have like a Discord channel. So there are a lot of people who have like understand some of these basics. They were going to help you. You understand? So join that Discord channel. You understand? So it will help you a lot. If you have any questions, there is nothing like a stupid question. So that is why this class is for absolute beginner. So we have like 2 classes already. So most of the things that may be confusing you, we've talked about them. So don't worry at all. So and now today or tomorrow, I will share a new email. So if you have an issue with Discord, what you need to do is first create a Discord account. Go to discord.com, create an account, and then use this link to... So I think it's discord.com. Let me get the Discord website. So it should be discord.com. So if you go to discord.com, you create an account first. Yeah, that's it. So you create an account. So after you create an account, you then use our invite link to join us. So that's access, and you can ask any kind of question you have. So I want us to do Git Firebase today, so that we don't. But if you have any question again, Samuel, do you have any question again?
And I'm trying to say if you send us the email, just update us with the time.
Oh,
So which time you guys start? I joined both me and my time here, and then that already started.
oh, okay. So we start. I think you should be like one. So we start like 4:30. That is UTC plus one. So I think Ghana is UTC 0. So I don't know. I think that would be like 4 o'clock your time. I'm not sure. So I think it could be like 4 o'clock your time. So, but don't worry, all the recorded and the last ones will be make available to you. I will send them to you. Okay. So good. So now we are going to go to Firebase. So, but before we do that, I want to remove some of these files that we added. So I'm going to remove them. I will keep the CSS one because we are going to need it. But I will remove the JSS. I will remove this name TST. Also, I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this preview. Okay, so after I do all of those, so we have everything intact. I'll just go and commit those, delete, git add, git commit. Okay, commit -m. So this should be like, okay, remove unused files. Okay, so I'll do git push again to push it to our server so that it will reconcile. Okay, great. So now for Firebase is very amazing. So I will encourage you to because what Firebase does is give you the ability to be able to build applications without necessarily writing a lot of backend codes. So, and they have hosting services, they have a lot of things that they provide. So today we are going to be using their hosting services. So you see, you have Google Ads, AdMob, Google Marketing, Play Store. So they have databases also. A lot of companies are using it. See, Duolingo, Lyft, Trivago, Gameloft. So it's really amazing. Even the New York Times is using it. So Lyft. So it's really good for startup and building application that scales. So after you sign up with your Gmail account, you can just go to your console. So go to the console here. So these are different kind of projects I've hosted here. This is my startup website. If you go to this, if I click here, for instance, so I think this is a hosting service. I use this for hosting. You can see, yeah. So if I click on this hosting, I can't remember anymore. Maybe I use it for hosting or not. But I think I use this for hosting. Oh, so let me click and get started. Okay, I think maybe I didn't use this for hosting, but I do use Firebase for most of my hostings, and it's free. You just need to buy your database. Like for instance, my website peterin.dev is hosted on Firebase. And I didn't have to pay for anything, so I've done this for a long time ago, so I've not really updated it. And also my former startup in Bailey.co, everything is on Firebase and is absolutely free. So which is good. And that's the advantage. If you have anything you are experimenting or you are building a project, but you need to showcase it to people so they can see it, and you don't have money for hosting, just use Firebase and it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. What we are going to do now, and also I have like, yeah, like this community we are building right now for my also. So, and it's also free. This is on. I just pay for the hosting. But even if you don't have an hosting, you can just have, they'll generate a domain for you that you can use. If you like a domain, if you don't have a domain name, so the hosting is free, just the domain name you pay for. So what we're going to do now is let's go to project overview. I'm going to create a new project so that we can just start from scratch. Okay, let me go to Firebase console itself. So I'm going to add a new project. I'm going to call it Techie Blogger. Right, and then I'll just say continue. So enable of this thing, I don't really care, but it's okay. So select account in Billy, fine, and just do that. And it's going to create your project. Okay, so it's ready now. Let's just go continue. So, and that's it. So what we are doing now is go to hosting. So this is going to just like guide you through how it's going to do it. You can watch the video if you want. You can go through. They have very good documentation. But I'll just click on get started here. First we need to do is, that's why we said that we need to install Node.js yesterday. Last week, because we forgot to install this. I already have Node.js installed, so I'll just run this code. Just copy this npm here and then come to your terminal and then just paste it and just run this. I think I should have Firebase tools installed. So what is happening right here is this: npm install -g means global installation. So this Firebase tools is going to be installed globally on our computer. So anywhere you are on your computer, you can use it. So it's not like for per project basis. So when we start doing JavaScript, I'm going to show you how you can install npm packages locally on your system. But this on a particular project. But this, every project we create can use Firebase tools. So that's what we're saying here. So as that is going, what we just need to do is click on next. So we're going to do this Firebase login. So that we can log into our Firebase account. So let's wait for this to finish installation. We do that. So it's done now. I'm just going to do this Firebase login stuff. So it's going to take me to the browser to log in to my Firebase account. Allow Firebase to collect. It's okay. Okay, and then it's going to bring the account. So remember to just log in with the same, because I have like different accounts, but I'm going to use this one that I'm using right now because it's that one I'm using. So I want it to be, you want it to be connected to the one you created your hosting with, you understand? So, but you can see multiple accounts for multiple projects, it doesn't matter. So you can see Firebase CLI login successfully. So success login as this, I've logged in here. So the next step, what you're going to do is Firebase Init, initiate your project. So it's this. I'll just copy this Firebase Init. So what we want here is what do we want? So we just want the hosting only, right? Oh, sorry, I did the wrong thing. So for you, press space to select and A to toggle all. So you go down to hosting and you press on your space bar to select. So and then use an existing project. So we're going to, because we have already created an existing project up there, so I'm going to use this. So I think it's already clicked. So can you see that? So it will list all my projects for me. So we pick Techie Blogger, right? So what do you want to use as your public directory? So just use public. So your public directory is the folder related to your project directory that will contain hosting assets to be uploaded to Firebase. So for us, our folder is called web. So I'll just use that web directory. So index.html is our, so I told you that index.html is already the first file that your hosting service is going to serve first. So we say yes. Set up automatic builds and deploy with GitHub. So this is interesting. This is where it become very interesting. So you see that your GitHub knowledge and your Firebase can communicate with each other. So right now, because we have GitHub initialized in this project, every time I make a change and a commit to this web browser, as we start adding CSS, automatically it's going to be built and then it's going to be shown on the website itself. You understand? And that's how it works. Now I will authorize my GitHub and grant it access. So I'll just say yes, authorize Firebase. So I'll just I just hope this password works. Okay. Oh. Okay, finally. Okay, so Firebase GitHub's login successful. So which is great now. So for which GitHub repository would you like to set up GitHub workflow? I don't even know. I think you should give me some options or something. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So this is easy. So now, if you remember, our GitHub repository is what again? So let's go. I think it's my name and then. So what we just created right now. So I'll go to GitHub now. So we'll go to Techie Bloggers. So that's what we just created. So I'll just search for that. But even if I don't search, I can just go to my profile and I should be able to see the recent commit I made on my profile. So I think this is a little bit tedious, but it's a very good thing to have. So don't worry. So this is the Techie blog repository. So I'll just copy this. Copy this and then put it here. So it's going to retrieve that account and then so I don't want any workflow. set up automatic deployment to your site live channel when a PR is merged. Yes. So what is the name of the GitHub branch we said with this? So it's the main. You see, main is already selected. So you want your main to be automatically deployed every time you merge to it. So, and that's it. And we have our Firebase initialization and everything completed. So what is the next step in our hosting setup? So let's go to next. So we just need to do Firebase deploy. That's all. And then we have our website live and direct. So let's hold our breath and see if everyone all around the world can see what we have been doing for the past few days. Live and direct on the web. So deploying to techie accountants, taking out the files is going, and deploy complete. And then we have a URL. So this is our URL with HTTPS configured and web.app. So I'm going to share it on YouTube and then on the chat. So all of you can go check it out. It should work. Hopefully it should work. And then I'll also open it up here. So let me close some of these tabs. So I think we've did enough today. I'm happy that we are able to get this out of the way so that next week we can directly start with CSS and because you are totally set up in 5 minutes now, it's time to build something. So, oh, okay, let's see something. Hosting URL. Maybe it's not live yet. This is strange. So let's go to here. I will see what is happening now. So after deploying, view your app are here. Yeah, that's where we should say it. So I'll see what happened now. Let's just go. So let's go back to our console and see what happened. So if you want to add like a custom domain, you can add it here, which is fine. And then, but for now, it should be this. So let me see what is happening, why we can view it. Wow, it's not showing up. That's strange. Maybe it doesn't take any time to do. Wow. So what's happening? Let's see again. So we have all of our Firebase files here. We have GitHub, we have images, and then so I think what might be happening, let's do the initialization again. Jumoke, just give me a minute. Let's just try and see. I want to say something. This should work fine. I'm just surprised why it's not working the way it should. Okay. Let me see. Posting. So let me set the public to this. You write URL to index.html, yes. Automatic build. I think we've done that before. Okay. Oh, not this. I think this Peter official / techie -blog, I think. So now here set up automatic deployments, yes, and we want main, override that. So let's redeploy again. Let's see this time. So maybe it's because of that public I didn't add. I changed it to web. Found one files in public. I don't know. Sometimes it will want you to like put all of your folders in public and then you can use them. So that's what I didn't do for now. So but let's see if this works. So still doesn't work. So because I think that was what happened, because our folder structure is a little bit different from what Firebase is expecting. So because we have all our files and everything in this. Okay, yeah, this is public. Okay, yeah, so we have this. So normally you should build it and then have this public folder. This is strange. And then yeah, it can create all of those things that we need to create. But then it's not working as I want to. That's really strange. Let me check again. Okay, I know what I'm going to do is let's go to GitHub. So this is debugging we are doing right here. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. So I'm going to go to my former. So so I want to see some of my former project that I have, and then we can compare some of these things. I think it's the folder structure that is not done properly. Okay, I'll just search it. Okay, yeah, so I want to look at my website and see the way I organize that folder structure. Maybe that is what is causing the issue. So we have this static and everything. Okay, so this is my personal website. So we have this source. Yeah, so this is my website. Okay, I think I used a different service for this. So that's why I use a different service for this. Okay, but my very good guess is the folder structure. So let me remove this and we're going to try it again. So we have this public folder. So I'm going to move what is here into this public folder. So yeah, we have that there. Still the same thing. Okay, I see what is happening already. So this is let me just create this. So it's folder issue actually that is causing this. So you can see that it recreated this folder for us, but we don't want that. So I'm going to create this folder and then move index.html inside here. And then I'm going to move the images inside those folder. Yeah, so we have this public folder images. So I'm going to explain why I'm doing this in the future, but then I think that is what Firebase wants us to do. So so we have all of those folder here now. So sorry about that. Then let's just run the initialization again. So for the last time and see, it's been a while I actually do an hosting with Firebase, but normally in development you are going to be faced with things like this, so don't worry too much about them. It's so what do you want to use as your public folder? So that's the I think that's it. So and then we have this, yes, so automatic build with Github, yes, file public in this already exists, override it. I don't know, this is really strange. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it's this is really strange. So these are deployments, current files. We have 3 files in here, but those files are not showing up. And then we have these deployments too that are not showing up. I'm going to delete this. So let me see this. Key blog. Oh no, we don't even need that. Okay, let me see. Let's see this code again. It's doing the wrong thing for us, and we just want to host the static files, not all of this. My index.js have been overwritten already. So let's just I'll undo all of this, all of those things you did inside there. This is really strange. So, but I think this is doing the wrong thing that we don't really want it to do. So I'll just discard all of the things he has done. I've deleted this already. So we have our files back right now, but then it's not giving us what it's supposed to do. this is really strange. So I think we've spent a lot of time on this, but I'll just like I'll figure out why this is not working directly as it should, and then we're going to continue from there. So let me move out these images to where it should be. Really, let's move it back. Okay, I think it's there already. Yeah, the image is there. I will remove this folder for now. Yeah, so I will do a follow-up video for this Firebase hosting thing. I think there must be something causing this issue. Why it's not loading the correct files that we wanted to load. So, but we shouldn't worry too much about this. I'll fix this and do a follow-up video and share with everyone. So so that's about that. I think we should just call it a day for today. If you have any questions on this Firebase thing, or you figure out some way to do it, let us have a conversation on Discord between tomorrow, and then we can fix that. So next week we fixed the Firebase. I will do a follow-up video and share with everyone. I'll upload it on YouTube and deploy this to Firebase, because deployments can be a little bit tricky sometimes. And then so that our next class, we don't need to start talking about Firebase again. It will be on Firebase already by then. And then we can start talking about CSS from CSS and then JavaScript next week. Two things we are going to be talking about. So thank you very much. So if you have any question, now you can ask. I saw someone raise up their hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Question.
Yeah, Jumoke, go ahead.
Okay. On the Firebase deploy, it says set up the workflow to run a build script before every deploy. Am I to enter this one now?
No. You are going to set up your own. You are going to authenticate and grant. So you're going to authenticate your own GitHub account with Firebase. So not my own account, because all of the files should be on your own repository. So this one is on my own repository. So the idea is replicate what we have done, and then you put your own files in your own repository. You get. So Eniola, go ahead.
I just want to ask. I saw something on the Firebase, something like the script. Is it? Can I just copy that on my code, maybe on my HTML code? Is it going to work the way it's supposed to work? And is it compulsory I create Git account, like putting my code under
GitHub?
Repository, whatever?
No, it's an
I can
Firebase. Yeah, so you don't have to. Actually, you don't really have to. So GitHub and Firebase is an optional. That's why when you say that, do you want to connect your GitHub to your Firebase, is optional. You get. So you don't have to do it. It's optional, but it's good to have. So the advantage is that when you have it, you are able to, like, anytime you make changes to your files and you merge it to your main, Firebase will automatically deploy that script. You understand? So that is why it should work. So I don't know the reason why we're having that issue we're having today, but I'm going to go through the Firebase documentation again. It's been a while I use it. Most time now I use Vercel, so which is a little bit very also easy to use. We are still going to discuss about Vercel, but I just want to because Firebase is like very easy for everyone. So like right now I use Vercel a lot for a lot of my projects too. So, and you can get free hosting on Vercel too, and it's very easy to deploy. So this is Vercel. They have the pricing, so you can pay, and they have the free versions also. So develop, preview, ship. So for static hosting, which is very easy. So, and you have the free versions, so you can either deploy from GitHub all of these files, or just do it for free. Or pay for this one. So don't worry, I will do both of them. So I'll do a video on Vercel for this particular hosting, and I will do another video for Firebase. So I'll share both of them so we can see. So Richard.
Yeah, thank you. Quick one. I'm trying to install the Firebase using the command prompts, but I'm having some issue. Like the response I'm getting is the npm is not recognized.
Okay, so
unknown command npm.
yeah, so because you don't have Node.js installed, that's why. So that's why I said that everyone should have Node.js. I'll just share it with you now. So just install Node.js. So that's what I said before, like install Node.js before. If you install Node.js, automatically npm will be installed for you, and then you can do all of those things. So because Node.js, if you have not installed Node.js yet, please install it. It's very important. So moving forward, we are going to be using Node.js. So I'm going to record a video tomorrow. So all of these steps that we are taking, so just like short workshop videos. So I'll push it on my YouTube channel and I'll send to everyone so you can go and watch it so that you see all of this process that we are trying to explain and some of these errors. And one thing is that when you are installing, you are debugging, you are having some of these errors. It's part of development. You're going to be run into issues. So like hosting, setting up hosting, like when you like this can be a little bit problematic sometimes. So imagine they're not doing it live and teaching people, it can be difficult. So I'll just go through it and see. And Firebase also have changed a lot over some times. So I have to look at the documentation to see that, okay, I'm doing the right steps. But for hosting static pages, I don't think it should be that hard. It should be just like easy and just do what you need to do. But we'll figure that out. So Abib.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I have like three questions, but the first is, I think someone already answered me. I was asking if that custom domain is free on Firebase. So someone said
So custom domain, for instance, now this is the domain they created for us. So if the hosting if the deployment works, it should be on this techieblogger.web.app. You understand? So .app is Apple's domain. So this web is just like a subdomain and they give us that. So but then if you want to use your own custom domain, if you go to the console, you can see that they said add custom domain. So that one you just have to buy a domain for $10 or something, and then you can add it, and then it's going to work. But if you don't have that, you can use the free one for your service.
Okay. The second one is this for hosting the website. We have varieties.
Yeah.
I've heard of Netlify, we mentioned Bessel,
Yeah.
Firebase. Now, which one is actually better? Because I think Firebase is more renowned. Like most people use it.
Yeah, so both of them are amazing actually, just depending on what you're doing. So that's why I'm surprised right now. Like I felt Firebase would be very intuitive. It's been long I use Firebase for hosting. So but most of the time I use most of my deployments I use Vercel, because Vercel is just like since we have a GitHub account, like let's even do Vercel now and you guys will see. So let me go to my Vercel account and you see how it works. So at least let's just feel like we accomplished something today. If you have questions, just wait. Let's just do this. So I just like something that is very intuitive, easy to use and stuff. So Vercel actually have that intuitive way of quickly allowing you to deploy. So I can just deploy from GitHub directly and everything works. You understand? So I'll go to my dashboard now on Vercel. So without even, so these are some websites. So like for my also that I show you guys, you can see this is I did it here. And I have some other one, yard sale, some other one project I did. So I can create a new project now. So when I create a new project, so you can see this is already techie blog. So this is what we have. You can see it's already synced with my listing. So I just like import this now. So you can see that. So and I'll just name this techie blogger. So let's say techie blogger, right? Okay. So I'll just say create. So I don't want to try out for this anything. So so because I don't want any trial so that it doesn't like charge my card or things like that. So you can we ask you for if you are using any kind of framework, it's going to hard. But this is just JavaScript. We don't have any framework here. No Nest, nothing. Or let's see if there is ordinary HTML. I don't think they have that. Just say like other, like we don't have any kind of. So let's just say deploy and see if. For me, I just felt like it should be able to like deploy to index.html without giving us a lot of headache because we don't really have like any kind of build tools or whatever. You understand? So, and that was what I was expecting from Firebase. Like this is just like ordinary HTML page. There is no anything. So can you see now?
Oh,
Can you see how fast it is? So that's Vercel for you. So it has deployed automatically. So if I now click on this now, Techie Blogger, you can see the deployment ready from this main sharply. So this answer your question. Like if you want to use GitHub, this is the advantage because it just makes your deployment far easier. So yeah, so I think Vercel saved the day. So the image is big, so it's still loading.
okay.
So you can see now. You can see because we have not added CSS, so that's why the image is big. So can you see that now?
Yeah.
So and that's it. So that is what I was expecting from Firebase. Like you should be like intuitive, you should be fast, and because what we are doing is not like this is not a complex. It's just a static HTML we are doing. So I'm going to share this link now for all of you to see, so you can check what we have been working on for the past few weeks. So and that's it. So but I will check for the error from the Firebase. So because it's good to have both of them, so you can use Firebase, you can use Vercel. So if you don't have a Vercel account, just create a Vercel account. It's very intuitive, very easy. Connect it to your GitHub account, and then you can deploy from your GitHub directly without even thinking, no matter the framework you use. Okay, so
One more thing, sorry.
okay, go ahead. Yeah.
The last question. So, all these projects we'll be doing, I'm thinking are you going to give us a link, or is it on your GitHub account that we can just download the zip file?
Yeah, definitely, it's there. All of us are saying it when I created it now, so it's not hidden. I will share the GitHub account, so you can go out there and download it or reference it for your code and things like that. So there is nothing hidden here for anyone. It's something that every one of us to be able to. So it's a public directory. So if I go to my profile now, you see this one where we just created. Yeah, so this is Techie Blogger, right? So that's the code. I will still share it in an email for everyone. So you can just go through it, study the code, you can change it, you understand, and then make it better, add your own to it. That's how you learn. And try and deploy it also. Maybe redeploy it on your code and things like that. So that's it. Okay, who else again? Jumoke, do you want to ask the question again?
Yeah, sorry, I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone asked me to create a link for a project on GitHub.
Okay.
And it creates a link, a git.io link. Well, I was able to create the link, but it wasn't working when I used the link. So the person was telling me that probably my files were not well arranged. So can you help me out on that?
Well arranged?
Like the code was not working. The link was not working.
So what kind of link is that? Is it like the GitHub itself, the GitHub link?
Yes.
So you have a code on your local directory, right? And then
GitHub.
And then you push it on GitHub.
The repository, yes. I already have the project on my GitHub repo. I just want to create a link that goes to that particular project when you click on it.
Okay, like the one we just did right now on Vassal.
No, no, is it like that? On GitHub, I went to pages, then I created
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
git.io.
you
Yeah.
want to be able to preview the web project, right?
Yes, yes, directly from that link.
So yeah, GitHub
But it did
pages.
not work.
Yeah, GitHub pages is another thing. You understand? So, but I think it's outside the scope of what we are doing right now. But what we advise you is just use Vercel, like I just show you guys now. Vercel is very fast. It's easy. It's the same thing from your GitHub. So you create an account in Vercel, then it will ask you to connect your GitHub account, and then it will list all your projects for you. You just select the one you want to deploy, and you deploy it, and you give you the link, just like I just did now. Very fast,
Okay.
and it's free.
Okay.
You understand? So
Right.
GitHub pages can be a little bit buggy sometimes. Even me, I don't use GitHub pages because sometimes it's not really friendly to do, because the thing is that they don't, it's not their strength, so it's just like an addition to GitHub, so they don't pay a lot of attention to it.
Okay.
But Vercel, that is what they do, so the experience and everything is better. Okay, so
But is there a particular arrangement for your file before it can?
no, there's not a particular arrangement. The only thing is that just follow what we did in this stuff. Just follow this. I'm just even going to remove Firebase from this project. And I will do it back later actually. Because a lot of things have changed here that I'm not really happy with Firebase. So that's just it. Have your folder, have your images. The project, is it just an HTML project or like a framework? Do you use any framework for it? Jumoke, do you use a framework for it?
No, so just an HTML, CSS.
That's
folder
all.
and
So
images folder.
that's all. Just have it the way we have it here. I've shared my profile, this code with you on the channel, on the chat. So look at how I organize it. Have your index.html. That's the first page you want to have. So anything that is your index.html is going to be what is going to load. So if you don't have index.html, you may have an error and nothing will show up. So you must have this page, and then you can then create every other pages about services, contact us, and all of those things. You understand? So that is how it should work. So just follow this process, it should be fine. So okay, that's good. Let's have other people ask questions. Who else?
Sorry, sir. Hello.
Hello, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. We are seriously
I
out of
mentioned
time.
something that time, but you doesn't say anything about it.
Okay, what is it?
I saw something on Firebase, which is copy script. So if we copy that script and use it on our web page, is it going to work the way it's supposed to work?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I did, right? So Firebase is going to give you the guide, like, okay, copy this one, install this one. So just follow that guide step by step. It's gonna work. Okay. All right. So the last two people, Abib, can you go first?
I'm sorry, that was the question I wanted to ask. Just
Okay.
three questions.
Okay, great. Okay. Samuel, do you still have any question? I can't hear you clearly. Can you speak louder?